Hey guys, Cartoon Retro Boy here, and yes, it's Memorial Day. I already did a game review, so I'm doing a challenge by reviewing every Spongebob game for the rest of the day. So now we're on Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. Now we're on another hated Spongebob game I heard in the franchise is Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. That's yeah, you heard me. Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. This game gets a lot of hate, and I can see some points where I disagree with some others. I just found, because honestly, here's my opinion on the game. Here's my, so I'm going to review the game and see, I'm going to talk about the plot about the game, and then I'm going to talk then I'm going to talk about the gameplay, the music, then the flaws, then the positives, and then the my overall opinion on the game. Now let's first start off with plot. The plot of this game is basically where SpongeBob and Gary finds this hidden bottle, has this hidden bottle that SpongeBob throws Gary a stick and it leads him to some stick thing that which the stick actually when he throws the stick, Gary brings back a big treasure box. SpongeBob reads the thing saying do not open or else," but he doesn't know what that means. He just opens it up all the way until it reaches a bottle, and he rubs it, and it releases the Flying Dutchman. And the Flying Dutchman explains to SpongeBob saying that he's gonna join his crew, saying, "Are you ready?" And he says no. He he blames it on Gary. He actually says that Gary was the one who did it. And when I actually played this game, I actually thought that was pretty, messed up for SpongeBob to say that. But honestly, yeah. But anyways, another thing. But now the Flying Dutchman is gonna try to kidnap also SpongeBob's other friends as well. So that's basically the plot of the game. But SpongeBob, but in the meantime, SpongeBob in the meantime has to find all the treasures to rescue his friends after when they got captured by the Flying Dutchman later on in the game. So yeah. And SpongeBob has to collect all the treasures to defeat the Flying Dutchman and get his friends back home. And that's the plot. So that's the game plot. So let's get to gameplay. Now gameplay is always important of the game because it always makes sometimes games fun. And yeah. It is. It definitely is. I mean, one thing I do think that makes sense, well, I would say right now is that I don't think Revenge of the Flying Dutchman is overall a bad game. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad of a game. I mean, okay, I want to talk about the gameplay first anyway. The gameplay is a open world platformer, just like it. And this game came out even before Battle for King Bottom. So you're probably wondering if this is the gameplay good? Now honestly, it's really kind of honestly mediocre at best. The reason why is because the reason why I think it's mediocre is because of a couple things of the game makes it a mediocre mess. One thing that does bother me about the game though sometimes is how the game plays. And I actually don't. I have a PS2 version, and I'm gonna say this right now. I actually have a PS3 that can actually play PS2 games. And Revenge of the Flying, I actually got Revenge of the Flying Dutchman to work, and honestly, it plays just as bad as the PS2 version. Well, I mean, it just plays just as bad as the PS2 version that would be later on. Are you serious? I'm gonna screw it. Anyways, I think this game, honestly, there is enemies. The enemies are pretty much thugs and stuff and clowns, which they're not really that great, honestly. They're just something. They're something. All right. Another thing I hate about this game. Another thing I do hate about this game, however, is that okay, actually, yeah, that's the gameplay. Oh, I just talked about that. Now I'm gonna talk about is the music. There is only 9 tracks in the game, and that kind of does suck though. The reason why it only has 9 tracks because of some reason, I guess THQ Nordic decided, hey, THQ, I guess I guess Nickelodeon just or THQ Nordic, THQ kind of was rude, and we only have 9 tracks in the game. Out of the 9 tracks, I think honestly the best ones are pretty much the treasure hunter costume and honestly the Reef Blower and Mermaid Man Barnacle Boy music and the Karate Glare. These all and also the graveyard one. I mean, no, in the picture puzzle one. I think these ones are probably the best one out of the 9 things. But another thing I hate about this game that people think it's weird. I do hate how this game does do. Sorry. This game does do something that a lot of people don't describe is that. Now, I'm going to talk about collectibles. The collectibles are the balloons, just like, and also, they kind of also be used in a Cosmic Shake, but they look different though. Even there's a move set. Even the moves, SpongeBob's move set is kind of also was one of them was reused in the Cosmic Shake. Was his ground pound, his was his body slam move. His body slam move, which was basically one of his moveset from Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, and that's basically it. Another thing that people, for some reason, a lot of people don't like is another thing people don't like about this game. Okay, fine. Yes.
Grandma say, take that. You got it with you. That and your water. All right?
Yes.
Cool.
Oh god. Sorry guys. That was just my medicine, but I take it. Anyways, this game is honestly no. I pretty much also think that the voice act overall the voice acting. What's it called? Next up, I want to talk about is. Oh yeah, I talked about collectibles, but I want to talk about the voice acting. Boy, the voice acting is great in this game. I love it to death. But the character models look trash. But the backgrounds look pretty good. They look pretty good. They look pretty much what a SpongeBob episode 3 game should look like Mario 64. But also, you probably wonder what's the levels. Well, the levels are the hub area is Bikini Bottom, but the levels are downtown Bikini Bottom, Sandy's Treehouse, Jellyfish Fields, Chum World, Goo Lagoon, and the Flying Dutchman's Graveyard. But in the Game Boy Advance version, there's more levels than that. They only take you like 22 minutes to complete in terms of like the Game Boy Advance version. But I honestly prefer it over the PS2 or even GameCube port. But the GameCube port is definitely the better version of the game. Another thing I don't like about this game that makes me frustrated is how the game plays. But I just talked about that. What about costumes? There is 4 costumes. There's the square pants. There's the jellyfishing one. There's the mermaid man, reef blower, and the treasure hunter, and the karate gear one. So there's 6 in total. I mean. Basically, I think the best one, honestly, is the reef blower and jellyfish field and mermaid man costume out of the 6, and the karate gear as well. But these are just my top 4, honestly. But yeah, that's all the costumes. But mostly, what I love about this game is how it feels like a sprinting game. Next up, I want to talk about is which I want to talk about the flaws of the game. Now, some of the flaws were actually made by THQ, the original THQ, not not THQ Nordic, or Honest Purple Lamp. What I really hate about number one is the whole jellyfishing, the whole collecting 100 jellyfish mission in in jellyfish fields, the 100 count, and it felt when I collected all jellyfish, it felt stupid. I had to collect literally. I actually even have a prototype demo. I have a prototype mod of the game. It's a beta mod of this game, and I actually played it, and it costed me. And guess what? You're originally supposed to collect 300 jellyfish, and you only got to collect 284 jellyfish. Like, seriously? Who does that? What kind of game does that? But, I mean, it's better. At least it's better than at least no game. Number two's biggest problem is pretty much how how come the costume you're wearing has to be the music of the level for the whole time. It does suck because because you can't even get, it doesn't even have its own original soundtrack in the levels, and it really does suck. You have to pick costume to listen to which soundtrack you're using. Oh yeah, the bosses are. Oh yeah, there's only one boss, and that's the Flying Dutchman. And I gotta tell you, that was like the only thing in the game I can actually say was the most easiest thing of the game. It was just a simple boss battle, like a Luigi's Mansion. It was not even that hard. It only takes like 3 hits and you dead. But okay, let me describe the next point I hate about this game. Number three's biggest problem is the freaking jellyfish fields music you use sometimes when you have the costume. Oh god, this music, it irritates me a lot. It gets sweet the first time, but when it gets to like the 5th time, it just gets annoying. I don't want to hear that do 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 do, or even the SquarePants one. I didn't really like that one. That one kind of sucks. It was just annoying. But okay. Oh yeah, also fun fact. This game got also won a Kids Choice Awards in 2003. Like in the Mike thing. Okay, number four's biggest problem with this game, and I think this was in is how the PS2 version corrupts save files. And it's so stupid. And it's ridiculous as well. And it really does suck that it just knows what you're saying. But really? Did he really have to do that? Yeah, they just had to. Okay, and my number 5's biggest, and probably the biggest problem with this game is, I think it's honestly the fifth biggest problem with this game is pretty much how how the game how the extras if you have a PS2. I feel like also the bonuses. I feel like that also that honestly one thing I think the biggest problem with this game is the development was very badly. For instance, Big Sky Interactive and THQ, I mean, sorry, not THQ Nordic. They actually had a bad relationship because THQ Nordic even blacklisted them because they didn't want it to become a division of THQ. And I'm like, wow. And I honestly feel bad for Blue Sky Interactive, but I honestly think they just should not make it days if they're not doing a good job at it. But yeah, that's pretty much how to describe the game. Fun. But above all, is this game worth it? Well, the people might say it's a bad Spongebob game, but sometimes it can be, but sometimes it cannot. I don't think it's a bad game in general. Honestly, I'd probably give this game. Honestly, this game is average, a mediocre mess. It's a mediocre game, but not a bad game either. It's just mediocre, not bad, or not even good. That's just how it lands on you folks. Just deal with it. Oh yeah, I give I give this game a 5 out of 10. Yeah, that's my ranking. See you next time when I review Battle from King Bottom at in the next video. See you later. Bye, YouTubers.